Hello everyone, and welcome to another brothercrypt YouTube video. Today I wanted to be covering something called Coin of the Week, and I hope to be doing these frequently, especially when I can, hopefully on a weekly basis, where I'll either be uncovering new coins that I've purchased or probably just coins in my portfolio. However, this week I wanted to bring your attention to something very interesting, which is high performance blockchain, HPB. HPB is currently listed on CoinMarketCap, and as we can see, it has a current price of $3.15. The total supply is around 100 million HPB, but currently it has a circulating supply of around 30 million. With this in mind, it gives us a market cap of just under $100 million. Actually, it's got a market cap of $93 million. Now, as coin of the week, I'm really interested in high performance blockchain. HPB is a new approach to solving one of the most critical problems facing all blockchains today. Do you know what that problem is? I'll let you guess. It's scaling. Yes. As you may be aware, currently Bitcoin only processes around 5 to 7 transactions per second. Yes. And right at the far end, we have credit card companies like Visa, and Visa processes around 50,000 transactions per second. Not always, but anywhere between 2,000 right up to 50,000 at its max. So part of the problem, that we're faced with, and that people keep saying, is that, oh yes, with blockchain, it's not really scalable. Therefore, we can't use it for real world situations such as payment transactions, such as it can't really cater for providing, the transactions for Visa, let alone all of the world's transactions in one go. And hence, this is why Ethereum comes in. Ethereum's been designed to cover smart contracts, and they are, trying to scale as well. And I think any blockchain that is able to handle high performance of scaling is really gonna have as it stands, Ethereum only processes around 10 to 15 transactions a day. But what I want to do is quickly show you the white paper. I want to keep this video for as short as possible today. So let me just, dive into some of the points that I highlighted in the high performance blockchain white paper, and then I'll just cover a little bit more of my thoughts with you. So, what they say is high performance blockchain is a new approach to solving one of the most critical problems facing all blockchains today, scaling. High performance blockchain will solve this problem and meet business needs by creating a platform designed to handle millions of transactions per second. It will consist of both hardware and software architecture, placing it ahead of current platforms which seek to solve the problem of scaling through software only solutions. Yes, that's right. So how HPB tend to handle the scaling issue is by having a two-pronged approach. They're also going to work on their software and their algorithms, but then at the same time, they are also providing high chip architecture to be able to handle those transactions as well with hardware, and not just be reliant on software like Bitcoin does, or currently how Ethereum does as well. So this, in my eyes, is a very unique project, and that's why it's got my attention, and that's really why I've been motivated to do this video, to share this information with you. Another thing that HPB works on is they have something called the acceleration engine, and it can achieve a considerable concurrency connections while maintaining support for more than 10,000 simultaneous TCP sessions. That's, the protocol of the internet, and processing 10,000 sessions in parallel. This will greatly reduce the number of distributed network layers. That's very correct. Another thing that stood out here from the white paper as well was this section, blockchain APIs. At the base level of the blockchain, the system provides a series of blockchain data access and interaction interfaces and uses JSON, RPC, and RESTful API to support various data applications and development languages. So basically, through their blockchain API, it's going to be able to integrate with multiple different languages and multiple different development languages, which is really interesting. Currently, Ethereum only has one program language, which is Solidarity, I believe. And then I think EOS, that is going to be designed so it speaks in C, I believe. So what HPB are doing is targeting multiple different languages and development layers as well. Now, the application SDK, it can be extended to integration of specific business logic functions and seamlessly support expansion and integration into various business systems. It will support Java, it will support JavaScript, it will support .NET, Ruby, Python, and other software development languages. So it's going to be very useful and should be able to connect with different languages and be used for different purposes as well. So when we're talking about, websites, transactions, most of the language that websites are created in are usually .NET or JavaScript, and a little bit of Java. So it looks like they're really looking to provide gateways and access for enterprise applications as well. Now, high performance blockchain also is offering smart contracts. The goal of HPB is to support a variety of virtual machines and over time add new virtual machines as needed as well. So here they have a point about the Ethereum virtual machine. It is feasible that high performance blockchain operating systems, blockchain and Ethereum virtual machine smart contracts can run into internal sandbox and can interact with other high performance blockchain applications with only small adaptations. And then the same also sort of applies for Neo as well. Neo virtual machine is actively being used for enterprise level finance solutions and other industries and can be used with high performance blockchain. When future Neo VMs users run into scenarios requiring high performance, they can interact with HPB with only small adaptations. That's great. So basically what they're saying is that their blockchain is going to be compatible with Neo, and if Neo needs to be able to do any high performance transactions, they will be able to sort of use the HPB network. That's what I'm really taking away from what this white paper says. Now, the high performance blockchain token model. As I mentioned before, there is a total supply of 100 million, which I like. And after HPB launches its mainnet, the high contribution node, HC node, that generates the blocks will receive HPB coin rewards automatically used by the system. That's great. So they're also offering nodes, and those nodes will be rewarded on a sort of annual basis. And right at the bottom it says it will not exceed around about 6%. However, with further information, I found out that they haven't sort of specified how many coins are required for you to actually create a node, but I'm sure this information will come out further down the line. So really that's okay. Just got two bits more of information I wanted to share with you. Just looking at the application scenarios, it says that high performance blockchain collects, uses, and authorizes data through smart contracts to ensure data purity, building smart big data solutions on the HPB ecosystem will greatly enhance data security, privacy, and availability. Yes, as we are aware of, the Cambridge Analytica and Facebook debacle right now, it really seems that big companies such as data really can't control the data that they hold. But by using the high performance blockchain, you're able to sort of govern data in a smart contract, and therefore you have more traceability and more sort of understanding and background to see how it's been used, and you can also potentially use smart contracts for it to be controlled. So that's what I'm really taking away from this white paper, although it doesn't explicitly say that. With the common goal of technological practice and exploration of big financial data and high performance blockchain, HPB is currently collaborating with UnionPay on the authorization, certification, and traceability of big data. The tentative launch time for the project is Q3 2018. That's really round the corner, guys. You know, we just stepped into Q2 recently. So by April, May, June, maybe anywhere between June, July, August, we should be hearing about them making traction with their partnership with UnionPay. I'll cover UnionPay a little bit more later on. So really, that's just a white paper. That's just a white paper. Excuse me. And let me just go back to reviewing them in a little bit more detail with you. So another thing that you can do is go onto their website. The website is situated at gxn.io. If you go to CoinMarketCap and if you can find this coin, then you know you can get links to their website as well. I really like the hypnotic eye that they have in the middle of this page. But yeah, a few things more I wanted to say about high performance blockchain is that, you know, it's a new kind of blockchain which is unique because, as they mentioned in the white paper, it's combining hardware and software architecture, which includes a chipset acceleration engine and the blockchain platform, and it aims to realize high transactions and speed of distributed application. Also, it really looks like, you know, this has been sort of dubbed as the EOS of China. Basically, from the research that I've done, it's been compared to EOS, and as EOS is a high-powered blockchain using parallel processing, but the major difference is that they are using accelerating hardware chips as well, and that's really unique to me. So that's what piqued my interest. It will be interesting to see how this is executed. Also, HBC looking to start into the game and get into the game using their software and hardware process to be able to sort of foster like 1 million transactions per second. As it also mentions, which I didn't cover before, but in the white paper, they do talk about they're sort of partnering with other massive companies and industries that use large amounts of data. If you look, you'll see that their white paper also mentions Baidu, Alibaba, and Tencent. I'm sure you've heard of Alibaba, but if you haven't, Alibaba is probably one of the biggest sort of wholesale websites, and probably anywhere from 30 to 70% of what you see on Amazon is actually sourced from Alibaba as well. So it's huge in China for Chinese suppliers to sort of scout out new prospects or clients who were looking to buy wholesale products, from all over the world, especially America and in Europe and in the UK. Baidu is the fourth most visited website on Earth, and it shortly follows after, YouTube, after Facebook, and also after Google as well. Another partner, which I mentioned in the white paper, is a company called UnionPay. Now, UnionPay processes around 80% of China's payment transaction data, and that's turning over something like 80 trillion yen per year. And just to put it in context, 80 trillion yen is somewhere between 10 to 12 trillion dollars, per year. And that transaction volume is way larger than Visa and MasterCard combined. Now, just to give you a historical perspective of this coin, it really just came on my radar last week, and then since then I've been doing research on it. However, the ICO was in March 2017, over 1 year ago. And as I mentioned before, the token price, if we check CoinMarketCap, it's at $3.15. And they have a market capitalization of $93 million. Personally, I see this going to 300 to 450 relatively soon, probably in either Q3 or Q4 this year. And I don't really see why it can't reach a 1 billion market cap, hopefully before the end of 2018, or it could potentially be in the first quarter of 2019. Another thing, just so that we are aware of, what they're doing, is that they do have a timeline somewhere. Okay, yep, here's their roadmap. So, currently they just recently completed their closed beta testnet phase. This was completed in Q1. Yep, in Q1 2018. And they actually achieved a remarkable 30,000 transactions per second. So that makes the high performance blockchain believe that it's sufficient evidence that they'll be able to reach their goal of 1 million transactions per second with the appropriate optimization as well. So let's just scroll back to the team. As we can see, their CEO was actually co-funded by UnionPay, and was a former CTO of another large Chinese wholesale gateway company. Now, their chief financial officer is also a former blockchain senior analyst at a large Chinese securities company, and they sort of manage anywhere in the tune to like around about 4 billion yen, and that's that's hundreds of million, probably about 700 million USD in capital. And then their chief technology officer was a former CEO at HyperSilicon, and they were a leading sort of ASIC AFGA chip supplier with customers such as AMD and Fujitsu, and the phone manufacturer Huawei. And then their advisors also include the Nobel Prize winner at UnionPay Smart, and also we can see that the Neo Blockchain Foundation is also an investor as well. I really like how Neo are doing lots of good ICOs and lots of strong collaborations and lots of good partnerships. So I'm really excited that Neo's also partnered with this project as well. This really was the icing on the cake for me. And the members of the team have been working, have been running information sessions at prominent American universities such as Stanford, Columbia, UCLA, offering opportunities to connect with and work for HPB. Prior to last week, I'm really surprised that this project coin went under the radar for me. I'm really surprised I didn't hear about it until last week. I really wish I had taken part in the ICO, but there's always opportunities up ahead. Now, just before I wrap this up, high performance blockchain are currently in their open beta testing phase, and as I mentioned before, and to confirm stability and the security of their network and consensus algorithms, they are still extremely unrecognized in the Western world, and their token is only available on a few lesser known exchanges like your Qtum and your Bibox as well. So if we see, Bibox, this is a Binance style exchange, and I think I will be seeing high performance blockchain on Binance very soon, and I think when the price does go onto Binance, I really think it will boom. In my opinion, it's already booming. It's already done a 10. It's probably done a 10x or more since ICO. Unfortunately, I couldn't find out the ICO price, but I think priced at $3 for a total maximum supply of 100 million coins, I really think it's still undervalued right now, especially as their main testnet will be released in Q3, and then they will start, their live projects with processing payments for Union Pay before the end of the year if everything goes to plan. So yeah, this leaves, another few things that I checked out is also the GitHub. As you can see on the GitHub, they have the HPB Foundation, and you can see that they've actively been contributing, over the last few hours, over the last few days. So I always like to see the GitHub if I can, just to see that, people are concentrating and that people are contributing to the GitHub and updates are being made. Now, they have under 10,000 Twitter followers, and really they've just started creating social media on Western channels such as your Twitter and things like that. So you can check out their Twitter if you want to. And yes, they were listed on exchanges like Qcoin back in February as well. And here's the Medium article I came across, which stated that they had successfully completed their testnet on their closed beta testnet phase. And somewhere here, if we check, we can see that ECC signature verification currently reaches 30,000 verifications per second. And then they go on to say this is sufficient performance to convince the HPB team that 1 million verifications per second can be reached with proper optimization as well. So yeah, finally, if we compare this to EOS, wow, let's just refresh this page. We can see that EOS has a price of $7.22. With much more coins, with a total supply of 900 million coins, and that gives them a market cap of 5.6 billion. Wow, that's a big growth, because I got into EOS quite recently, and I think it already had a market cap of somewhere between 3 to 4 billion. So to see that it's grown 19% in just a day, that's really big gains. But basically, high performance blockchain is rival to be the Chinese EOS, because they are targeting, high performance blockchains, transactions with high scalability. And currently EOS, without going live, they have a market cap of 5.6 billion. So I think if high performance blockchain, if they do things right, if they deliver, if they work hard, as I mentioned, I don't see why they should not go to 300 billion, anywhere between 300 to 400 billion, and then reach 1 billion, and then potentially, be on par with EOS once they're up and running. So in my opinion, there's so much more room to grow for the project. So I think I've covered everything I wanted to. If you have any questions, if you have any comments, just please post them in the video. I hope to be doing, coverage, just a quick synopsis of some of the coins that I'm getting into, and give you reasons why I'm getting into them. I've already picked up some HPB today on Bibox. So yeah, if you're interested, do your own research first and get into this while this is hot in the bear market. All right, thanks for watching another brothercrypt YouTube video. Smash up the likes, forward this to anybody that you think would be interested, and I'll see you guys soon. All right, all the best, take care, bye.